was giving the Midwestern yes but no, but in Spanish.
I see.
Sí, como no? Yes, of course.
Oh.
Yes, of course. Por supuesto que sí.
Nope.
Hi,
You
welcome.
exceeded my knowledge.
Welcome to Call of Cthulhu. We're not just role-playing, we're also a language learning lab. Thanks.
We're failing in that endeavor.
Well, are you failing if you're learning?
Am I learning? No, I'm failing.
Wait, well, I guess that's a fair point. Welcome to Roleplay Give. Today we are playing Masks of Nyarlathotep with the Call of Cthulhu 7th edition rule set. I don't know that I need to say anything more about that because it's Sunday morning. I'm drinking coffee. And we're going to just dive right into this game. Where we left off is a good question. Sorry, I'm double checking some things. Where we left off, I believe the last things that were done were the belongings were retrieved from the hotel in Derby. I think Clyde and Purdy set parts of the Henson manufacturing on fire, then left, were picked up, and then you drove by, or no, then the farmer drove by you guys heading into town to report the fire. I did not watch the video this time. I was doing a lot of build prep work. So, is that accurate to what you all remember? And then you had talked about heading to Hull, the city of Hull, to catch a steamer.
Yes.
And the question is, are you driving to Hull in this vehicle that was rammed into a wall? Or are you going to replace it with another vehicle or do other things?
There was some discussion of depositing this vehicle, giving this vehicle to the pond monster.
That's
I
right.
don't remember.
That's right. You were going to offer it as a sacrifice to the pond monster.
Is that still our plan?
I think we should.
I mean, it would make him happy.
Yeah, why not?
All right. I have found a better map of England from the 1920s, England and Wales. It has all the railroads on it. But
We have no vision on it.
Well, damn. I always forget something with that. And it's almost always that.
Yep.
Now?
No. Big black circle or square.
And a cherry tree.
No, my heart has forsaken me.
Oh, I see it.
That's
Okay.
way better.
Okay. Man, I better just... So, you guys... And let's see if the pinging works here. Are right here.
Oh, yes.
Hull is over here. And London was, well, it still is, over there. But that's where you were. You have multiple train routes to go where you're going. I mean, and you don't... Hull was just convenient. It is major shipping. I did some research over the weekend. And Hull was a major transport of goods and passenger shipping line at the time. They still are. But they were one of the big ones. Liverpool, Hull, Southampton, London. Plymouth. Plymouth is the one.
Well, I think it makes sense to go to Hull or somewhere else equally far from London.
I would agree. We haven't really burned our bridges this far north yet, and
Or anything else yet.
yeah, that's true.
Today.
Well, not this far north.
Right.
We haven't burned anything north of Derby yet.
I hate to break it to you, but I may have not spent the entire week in Darby when I was here.
Are you suggesting you burn something north of Darby?
Well, sometimes you get bored and you don't have a place to live, and you want to set a bonfire. You gotta go a little bit out north to the woods, you know.
I think the one thing, I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt here and say we've switched our VTT for this game. We were playing on Roll20 and now we're playing on Forge, Foundry VTT. And I'm not sure how Corey's going to write all over this one. And I will miss the tracking of vehicular manslaughters, arson, and I'm sure
Don't you
You'll
worry.
figure out something.
I'm sure something will present itself.
I did when I opened up Roll20 just now. We definitely left it like an apartment we were abandoning. Like that map was like.
That's a
It
great
was just
description.
so messed up on that map.
Get all the copper wiring out of the walls. Let's go.
Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry, I just
that
was.
was my first thought when I saw that. It was clear we're leaving here.
Well, that's such a fun comparison. All right, so I'm sorry I took you guys out of the game here, but I also thought maybe mention now that we are playing with a new VTT too. So, okay, please go on. Clyde was intimating that he had burned or set things on fire north of Darby, is I think where we left that.
Well, like in the past few days.
No, like a few weeks ago when I was up here scouting before. I mean, I can't be sitting in the barn all the time. It gets cold at night, and I get bored very easily.
So you went. Did you burn anything down in Hull?
I may have shipped out of there. I don't think I was, though. Not yet.
Yeah, that wasn't exactly my question.
Not yet.
Okay.
Would you like that to be the next course of our journey?
I think perhaps it would help our attempts at a low profile if we did not set anything on fire in Hull.
Seeing some very conflicting messages here, so no fires this far north this time.
I think we should attempt to restrain ourselves from lighting anything further on fire in England this trip.
Such a party pooper.
I don't want to silence your artistic visions, but I think it might behoove us to not burn anything down.
I would have to agree with that. I think we'll start to become, it's an MO that we'll get known for, and really hard to stay under the radar if we're announcing ourselves by burning
What's a
everything.
radar?
It's an expression. I'm ahead of the time. I'm getting it from the future. I'm going to make it all the rage.
So you
Oh, rage, I understand.
nice. You have access to railways to Hull. This is the railway lines. However, you also, I mean, it is, I think, the middle of the night right now. And you guys are driving, I think, along the Albany Road, and I think you decided to head west away from Derby towards Mickleover. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. You were heading into the countryside. The next major city near you, you could head southwest to Birmingham, or you could head north towards Sheffield, which would get you on your way towards Hull.
City on the move.
I just remembered something as well. And he pulls the revolver. These are kind of not allowed still. And if we're trying to catch a boat, I'm pretty sure our stuff is going to be inspected for something like this.
I think that is a good insight.
So either A, we can just toss them along the side of the road and be done with them, or we could have a little fun.
Is Purdy driving?
Yes.
All right.
I would assume so,
Okay.
unless someone else wanted to.
I wonder
I
if...
had enough of driving for the night, thank you.
All right. So that should... You guys are I'm gonna place you roughly where you're at. There you go. And I think, Corey, you should have control over the token if you want to move to where you guys are going, or however.
Okay, but I just need to inform you that if you go to the permission configuration and game settings and click on Use Drawing Tools, that's why I've been so quiet. I don't even know what we're doing anymore. Sorry.
You would like me to use drawing tools to the...
I'm just suggesting that,
Or I could make you a trusted player because they already have it. But I'll just... Everybody can now draw. Okay.
Is there now an untrusted player option?
There is. It's just player and trusted player and game master.
So
and assistant game master, actually.
I can't really move. Those are my movements.
Okay, it's because I think I have the grid on. Let me...
We can go
it's
north or
gridless.
east.
It's just that I didn't set the scale right. We'll just...
but using the new drawing tools.
Yes.
So
you should all have that too, by the way. I think you should all now have a pencil.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Where'd my... Hold on. There we go.
Towards
so wait,
Newark.
No, I'm sorry. I was just using the drawing tool, so I could have potentially messed up. We were headed in what direction?
You were heading west, away from Derby.
Yeah.
You could head up via any number of rural routes to Sheffield, or you could...
City on the move.
Or you could pick up the railway at Trent or Newark.
No, there does seem some wisdom in if we're going to dispose of the vehicle, do it before we travel very far, and then hop on the rail.
Right. I think I like the way you think, Common.
Sorry.
I caution you in that.
These are the railways. Okay, so these are not the roads. Sorry. I'm just orienting myself. So what I think I'll do then is I will drive. Sorry, we're going west. So I guess I'm going to drop them off at the train station in Stafford.
Okay.
And then maybe as we're pulling into Stafford, basically like we'll all four of us can scout out an area where we think to drop the car off. I drop all or some at the train station in Stafford and then circle back to get rid of the car.
Got it.
Anything we're also trying to get rid of. And then I huff it on foot back to the train station.
Sounds good. Is that what you guys want to do?
Yeah.
What were you saying about our weapons, Clyde, that were going to be searched, but you had a fun idea?
I mean, it's not often we're out in the British countryside and there's nobody around. I mean, I think we all could use a little target practice.
Nice.
I certainly see the wisdom in what you're saying, but I think perhaps at best that we not do anything that could draw attention.
That's why we're in the countryside, so there is no attention.
There's still attention.
There's always those farmers that are just so, involved.
And they're
in
goddamn dogs.
This is a stream of dog lovers, man.
I just feel it'd be in all of our best interests to at
Harmon's
least
developing
learn.
a distaste for dogs.
I mean, we've had guns pulled on us at least 3 times now. And I'm just saying it's probably good if we learn how to use them.
I would agree with that, but I also am very concerned about making a lot of noise in the middle of the night, even
That's
in the
why,
English countryside.
but that's for the countryside. It's the side of the country where no one is. If you're worried about some rabid dogs coming out, it's fine. We got a car. There's someone coming to investigate. I mean, we still got a car. We just drive away. I mean, it's only going to take, I don't know, 10, 30 minutes. We don't have to do it. I'm just offering. I feel like this is a good chance to develop our skills in one way or another.
I'm still laughing about on the side of the country that nobody's on. Well, is that how you guys want to roll with it?
What do you think? I think Harmon's urging for caution. Purdy, what are your thoughts? I kind of think it would be
I mean,
fun.
it would be fun. It is the middle of the night, and we've been up for most of the day. I mean, I don't know. Whatever you guys want to do. I think that I just want to get on the train and get some shut eye, to be honest. But it's possible that there aren't no trains until we get in there, or
I
until
just want to
morning
put some
comes.
distance between us and what we left in Darby. I think stopping in the country to shoot off a few bullets is not. It's unnecessary. It adds time, and it leaves us not that far away.
All right, Clyde. It sounds like the voice of reason is the one we must go with this time.
Or the voice of terror.
Trust me, I know when I'm outvoted at this current standpoint, and he's going to try to just empty out the gun, but realize it's not one of those break open ones, it's one of the side ones, and just like, shit, wrong one. And he just puts it just to the side, in like a little cloth or something.
Okay. Are you tossing it?
Not yet.
Okay.
When we feel like we're at a point we can toss it.
Okay.
Purdy's not gonna toss his. I mean, not anytime soon.
Okay. Yeah. How are you going about concealing these on yourselves? If at all.
Mine's just in my back band,
Okay.
my pants.
Got it.
Be right back. Just need liquid.
It's time for liquid. Okay.
I'm
So,
not
Get
really,
things started.
I'm not really sure what to do with this. I don't think I'm very good at using it, and probably more dangerous for me to be. Maybe I'll just wrap it in my unmentionables and put it in my bag and hope nobody takes a look.
fair enough.
Just to have it, but not have access to it right now.
Okay. Well. All right, so the plan is then to ditch the car then, right? Or
Yep.
And so Purdy's saying he's dropping us and going back to ditch the car?
Or whoever wants to be dropped off. I don't think all of us need to move through the countryside. But basically, we all look for a place on the way into Stafford, and then we basically I'll drop you guys off to deal with tickets or whatever, or figuring out the train schedule, I'll drive back out, ditch the car, and then just huff it on foot.
And then you can leave all the luggage with whoever's at the train station and not have to be walking through the countryside with your luggage.
I think that makes sense. I'm happy to arrange for the travel while you dispose of the vehicle.
Cool. All right. So
And I don't have a firearm, so I don't have to worry about hiding it.
you guys get to Stafford. Is that right? Okay. Am I okay to move us forward to that, or is there anything else you want to do traveling in the car to Stafford?
I think that's okay.
Okay. So you guys get to Stafford. It's sort of like one of those like frontier town rail stations. So it's not a large like Eustis Station or Victoria Station in London. It is at this point. I'm going to say I think we ended at like 1 a.m. 2 a.m. last time. So that by the time you guys drive, you're basically Model T, British equivalent of a Model T, up to
Like a Morris Minor.
a Vauxhall maybe. I don't know how old those are, but yeah, sure. Sounds good.
My dad had one
Oh wow, really?
until just a few years ago.
That's cool.
It was a piece of junk, but he really enjoyed it.
Well, I have several tools that are pieces of junk that I hold on to for no reason. So the you get to there's not really like a car park or anything near there. You just drop off and it's sort of a platform, and the ticketing office is closed, but you can see through sort of like the shuttered ticketing window that there's a soft glow, and you hear in there sort of the rustling around of somebody kind of organizing things, but says closed. Shutters are closed. There are benches. You are alone in the. I'm going to say, by the way, it's like now 4 a.m, and you are alone on this platform. You don't see a lot of foot traffic or movement here. I don't know. I'm just for purposes of moving this game. I'm not going to look up Sheffield in the 1920s. I'm just going to say that the train station is on the outskirts of town because that would make some sense. And then you are not near. It's almost like, as Clyde was saying, you're now in the countryside. You're on the side of the country where people aren't. And so that's where you're at now. Purdy then would drive away, and perhaps let's do it for funsies. If you have a successful spot hidden, we'll say that on the way up you found an appropriate body of water to ditch the car, or you could just ditch it anywhere really. But just for
all of us are doing it, or me?
However you guys want to play it. If you all want to look, you can have all be looking.
Sorry, I have to do.
Oh, my character sheet disappeared.
Did it? Alright, I think I got it. I don't know how to read things here. The spider's bad, the stars are good. Is that or backwards? I don't know what we're looking at.
I don't actually know what the spiders do either.
Fail by 1 level, it says.
Oh,
it's
gotcha.
So you have to get a hard success or whatever? Is that what that means?
Or it's like, if it's like a very challenging thing, I assume there's multiple levels of failure.
Yep. Oh, sure. Maybe if you're pushing your luck, then.
Like, say if you have to achieve a hard success, but you get a regular success, that's 1 level of failure. Just, alright, fail, it's 2.
Okay.
So how do you get it to roll? I'm clicking on it, but it's not doing anything.
Are you
I got it. I finally got it there. Oh, and now I have 12 windows open. Anyway, I did really well.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. All right. Harmon finds a. I guess that means it's a.
Extreme success.
Extreme success. Yeah. Okay. So.
And the 2 stars is a hard.
Hard. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Got it.
And the spider is a fail.
Got it. Got it. Perfect. Okay.
But just a regular fail, because it's only 1 spider.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had a catastrophic failure earlier, didn't we, when we were testing? What did that look like?
A malfunction.
Yeah.
It said.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, all the letters were in red.
Fumble.
But, yeah,
Fumble. Yep. Okay. Okay. So Harmon spots a lake, and in fact, it would be a great lake for a pond monster.
It's a shame that we don't have time to really look for a pond monster.
Well, I'm sure they'd appreciate the nice new vehicle we're about to give them.
You can direct. You could have pointed it out to Purdy on the way up, and Purdy, are you going to just sort of heave-ho it into the water, kind of thing? Like take the parking brake off and just push it into the water, or put a brick on the accelerator and walk away.
Did I leave all 3 of you at the train station? So
that's a question.
Well, Harmon certainly got out to arrange for the travel.
Yeah, I think Daisy would also stay at the train station.
Okay.
You want a buddy, Purdy?
I don't need one. You come with me if you want, but should be like an hour, I'm guessing. You're kind of scrawny, so I don't know if you can move as fast as me.
You want to test that?
I mean, why don't you keep those 2 safe?
We did previously have an agreement that none of us would fly solo.
I'm driving solo though. I'm not flying anything.
I meant just we wouldn't be off on our own.
Okay.
Last time I recall, I was left alone. I had a gun pointed to my back, so we're probably in the best circumstance if I go with you.
I think that may have been the precipitating action for us deciding not to go alone.
No, that was the fat issue, and as he says, as he's being drove away, it wasn't vampire.
So
pointed at his back more than once. Poor Clyde.
he's gonna drive near the pond. He's gonna park maybe like, I don't know, 50 meters away. Get out of the car and basically take off his clothes down to his skivvies. And he's gonna drive it into the lake.
Okay, that probably is the most efficient way. Yeah, like with the window open.
Get out. Yeah, get out. Put his clothes back on.
All right.
The whole. He would have been naked if Clyde was. That's the only reason I asked.
Ruined his plans.
No, he has some modesty.
Yes, modesty. It's good to have some. All right. So, hey, Winston. That'll take, like, you walking back, probably take an hour. Maybe. Did we say it was a couple miles back? Between driving there, ditching the car, driving back, or walking back. We're now looking at 5. What are the 3 of you doing sitting? You may not be sitting, but on this sort of wooden platform at the station in Sheffield.
And I think there's only 2 of us.
Or Stafford,
here,
sorry.
right?
You're at Stafford.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Probably looking really nervous. But trying not to look nervous.
I'm going to be updating my journal
Okay.
with both the real facts that we've been discovering and then adding in my little, tangents to try to distract.
Okay. After about, 20 minutes or so, you hear sort of humming and then from the ticketing window, and then a whistle of a tea kettle, and then sort of a little humming, na 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 na, and just somebody going about their day, the beginning of their work day.
So we've not procured tickets yet because they weren't open.
No.
Correct.
And I think I wouldn't be predisposed to try to bring attention to ourselves before it opens. I'll just wait until it opens.
Yeah, I wonder, could we have found somewhere else to sit that might have been like, I don't know, a picnic table somewhere a little ways away?
Right. So we're not just sitting right outside the window the whole time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Roughly, I would say just maybe as the sun. Well, gosh, it's winter or early spring. I guess as the sun's maybe starting to lighten in the eastern sky, and as I have you facing, that is to your right. The ticket window sort of opens. There's sort of a click 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 because it's got a roll top to it. And then the shutters open. And hello there, early travelers. Then
Good morning.
good morning. Where are you going to be off to today, or have you already purchased tickets?
No, we do need to purchase tickets. Two of our party are on their way, but we figured we'd get an early start. We need 4 tickets to Hull, please.
To Hull, okay. Well, you would be, let's see, stopping then at Crewe, and then a direct route to Leeds, and then to Hull. Okay. 4 tickets. Let's do something we haven't done before. Let's do.
Oh no.
Let's do a credit check. So, or it should say on your sheet because I think it.
I do have $66.
I was gonna say we don't need to do that. I was gonna say roll it, but because it does calculate on these sheets what that equates to is having on hand cash, so that would be plenty for you to purchase.
My spending level is $10, so if it's less than that, I don't even need to worry about it.
I think you're
Mine's
fine.
2. I'm glad I'm with you.
Yeah. So you should be in good. Yeah, Harmon is able to procure those tickets for you, and soon after the transaction occurs, Harmon and Purdy and Clyde walk to the train station, and seem to be none the worse for wear. Purdy might be a little wet still, but the train rolls up sometime after, coming in from Richfield, as I'm looking at this map. And you are boarding a train. Now, the last time you were on a train, not the last time, but, a little bit of creepiness occurred for Daisy and Clyde, where they were trying to throw off the scent of some cultists. And as I mentioned cultists, Winston, I would say all cultists in this game are insane. Like that's they have 0 sanity, and so they do everything with complete zeal and have absolutely nothing to gain or lose from doing anything irrational, and so will act irrationally. If you want to play Cthulhu style, a cultist has lost all grip of reality. They've lost all sense of morality, and will do whatever the elder gods tell them. Or the chief priest who is acting as the elder god. Cthulhu wants to re-enter the world, so basically a Cthulhuan priest will be like ripping apart seals and basically a lot of like Critical Role Season 2 for Ford. Okay, so that's my advice. Play insane, but under the radar insane. Of course, they won't know what radar is in DCC either. Okay, so that...
We'll have to ask Daisy.
Daisy knows, because it's...
She knows. She's got some insight from the future.
That's right. That can happen in this game, actually.
Also
which
from
is fun.
space.
Okay, so you guys board the train, and there are a number of people in the train car with you. This is going to be kind of an all-day journey with stops of crew. Like, it won't take, forever, but it'll take a good chunk of the day because trains are... I don't know. I actually have no idea. Probably take about a half a day. And that's what I'm going to say it is, unless somebody's got better data on the speed of travel of trains with 3 stops.
Totally sounds like a math problem.
Yeah. If a train left Stafford... okay. So... in the car with you is a young man and woman and a small child. There is also an sort of mousy businessman looking person. He has got a briefcase on his knees. It's one of those sort of, not like a squared off one, but one of those like medical doctory type briefcases, except for it's not a medical bag. It's just for papers, and he's got it on his knees, and he's just holding the handle like this. And he's staring out the window for most of, or for a long period of time as you observe him. I am gonna open up a map just so you can get an idea of what it looks like, and I am fairly certain I have not configured it for you to see. So
before I have something that is absolutely driving me crazy on this map.
Okay.
Can anyone tell me what English letter is that?
Where are you? Where are you? I didn't see it. I was on the other map.
It does look like pi almost, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks like the paragraph symbol or the the edited paragraph. Okay, just
well, I believe that is the city of Merthyr.
That's an M.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is an M. It's just that the
just curious.
typeset didn't hit on the left side.
It is a village in Wales.
Yeah, I mean...
Where they had to eat Robin's minstrels.
in Mercia. Yeah.
Oh. Thanks.
Brave Sir Robin. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Because Maryport looks very similar with the M.
Where's
Weird,
Maryport?
Way up north, but I was just looking for a similar... Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Mablethorpe doesn't.
No.
Doesn't matter.
It's just probably... I mean, I don't know if this was done in, like, the 20s and then reproduced. I don't think so, because look at this offsetting that they're doing here in Penzance, where the pirates come from.
No worries.
Okay. So you should be able to see this train, right? Have I set it up correctly?
Yes.
Okay. And I am not going to put a bunch of tokens on here or anything. At this point, I just want you to kind of see how this train is set up. It looks like you'd only be able to fit 1 token on this, but they don't make 1-person seats. Like, those are, right? Like, I think they would probably have those be 2 people seats. This is just the 2-minute tabletop train that I downloaded that I really liked. So you guys have...
I find it reassuring that we have a battle map for the train.
You should. It's just a visual aid. Look, there's no tokens on it or anything.
Yeah.
And I also...
Nobody with weird curved knives.
I just made this while Purdy and Clyde were dumping the... Because I was like, it would be nice if you could see the train. And so I just made it quickly.
I'm for it. I mean, I'm in favor.
Okay. So, so you're sitting here, and I am going to throw
If there's a fight, I'll run away.
on the moving train.
Can run a short distance.
Okay. Just put you guys. You can arrange yourselves as you'd like, just in case it becomes important. It may not. And so, the as this is a day trip, there's no like dining service or anything like that. But you could go to a dining car if you wanted to. You haven't purchased sleeper car tickets or anything like that, but at one point the little kid starts getting, he's very little, like 3, starts getting very upset, and mom and dad are trying to calm him down, and eventually have to sort of hold him up to the window and soothe him, but otherwise it's passing relatively peacefully. The conductor comes, checks your tickets, and you spend this trip, at least this first part of it, seemingly peaceably as the sun is overhead. It's a clear and unseasonably warm day in March. Anything you guys want to do while on the train?
Sleep.
Okay.
Take a nap.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Everybody goes to sleep.
I mean, that's it's really
Fuck.
bad.
Fine. You guys rest. I'll rest next time. I can stay up.
I will put my hat over my eyes.
I was
Okay.
just supposed to put his head over his eyes, but then sees everyone's going to sleep and just like,
Okay. So Clyde stays awake for
Oh,
a
yeah.
bit. Okay. As the rest of them sleep, make a. Well, I'm not going to tell you to make whatever you want. The conductor keeps walking in, and it strikes you as interesting that even though he's taken your tickets, he keeps walking in, walks back, looks at everybody, and then walks out.
any person in particular he's paying too much attention to? As a person who's ridden plenty of trains, obviously this is kind of like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it seems a little weird. Make a psychology check.
I have this skill. If I could find it. There it is. That's psychoanalysis. Boop. Meh.
Now, it doesn't seem to be paying attention to anybody. Well, I think you're focusing mostly on your group, and he doesn't seem to be paying much attention to the 4 of you.
We're all sitting together either, are we? Because I mean,
Looks like
it
you
looks
spread
like
each other
Murray
out.
and yeah.
So,
So
okay. You guys get to the first stop. It takes maybe only 40 minutes to get to Crewe, and everything stops. And more passengers on board. So now, in addition to the man with the valise, I guess is really what it is, and the family, you now have what appears to be 2 young women in their early 20s. They appear to be wearing uniforms. They are sort of quasi nursing military type looking uniforms, and and then a group of men in their late 20s, early 30s. They appear to be sort of manual labor looking, and appear to be carrying some tools in toolboxes, but smaller toolboxes, not like walking in with like their dad has a giant toolbox. It's just a small toolbox. And they're wearing sort of coveralls and caps and whatnot. So now there's roughly 2, 5, 7, 8. You guys, 12. There are about 14 people in the car, including yourselves. 15. I don't have enough tokens to just keep, but I just want to make sure you guys all see what's happening here. So now this car is relatively full. And you pull away. Did you guys sleep through the stop and crew? Take a 45-minute nap and wake up, or because you're there for about a half an hour or 20 minutes while they're taking on water, any coal needs they have. They may not need any at this short of a hop, and just boarding passengers. You could get out too if you wanted to.
Right. I don't, unless,
And
you
I,
know,
I feel
I
like
would-
we didn't sleep at all last night.
right.
No.
So unless Clyde wakes us up, I think Daisy's gonna be sleeping.
Glad's no stranger to staying up for a little bit. I'll let them rest for a bit.
Okay.
But then when the train starts going, I'm taking my turn.
All right. So a half an hour later, now the nappers have had about an hour and a half sleep, give or take. Clyde, you're gonna take a nappy nap? Are you waking anybody up, or are you?
I'll nut Charmin. All right, buddy, your turn.
For what?
I stayed up. I gotta
Oh.
rest too, you know.
Well, that was probably very, very smart. Okay.
And they're
Right.
still asleep in the back. If you want to wake them up, you can. But I'm tired.
Right. No, I'll have a watch.
Okay. So you take your watch, and Clyde went to sleep. You wake up and you see that the train car is now much fuller than it was when you first fell asleep. You have some dock workers who are sort of, one of them has got a thermos out and they're pouring 10 cups of tea, trying to keep it from spilling, and maybe having their morning tea on this, what seems to be even maybe a bit of a commute for them. The kid has since kind of calmed down. The family is pulled out like a map and are excitedly talking about getting to Hull. As you're just sort of glancing around at the people around you, the young women in the uniforms are silent. They are staring out each of their own windows. They appear to be, companions to each other, but are not engaging in any kind of friendly conversation or anything like that. The man with the valise has gotten up. As you're awake, you see him rise, and he moves across and takes another seat on the other side of the train car. So he has moved from here, and he has moved over to here in front of Daisy,
Okay.
and is looking out the window, but is still sitting hand on bag. So,
Okay.
throughout the time that you're awake, which I don't know how long you want to make because you have a much longer trip here now from, where were we at? We were at Crew heading to, it's nonstop, looks like to Leeds. So you have quite a bit of time here before your next stop. So
Harmon has no experience really with this whole being on watch thing, so he's going to try to procure a paper.
Okay.
And read the paper.
Okay, you can do that. It is easy enough. The conductor will be happy to get you one, unless you want to go out to the dining car, which has sundry goods that you can pick up.
No, it seemed important that I be able to watch everyone, so I'll get one from the conductor. That sounds great.
Okay.
And I'll give him a little tip.
Perfect. He produces for you a local paper. Nothing of real note on this paper. It's just, their locals think there's a pond monster. No proof of that. No, it's just so and so won a spelling bee kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I will read the entire thing.
Okay. Nothing much happens other than you have the same thing. You notice the conductor keeps walking in, glancing, and then doesn't appear to have any business being in the car, and then walks back out again.
Well,
Yeah.
if I notice him glancing over, I'll give a nod, and
Okay.
but
he
yeah.
doesn't seem to be paying attention to you necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you stay focused on your paper. When you finish your paper, what do you want to do? Do you want to wake somebody up or continue on?
If they're still sleeping, I'll just walk, just ride.
Okay. Everybody, tell me if you guys want to keep sleeping. You want to get your full. They don't have a long rest, short rest mechanic here. It's more narratively like as long as you get a couple hours, I'm not going to give anybody exhaustion, which would be endurance checks.
Clyde's probably definitely a power napper.
Purdy's most likely just gonna sleep through the whole thing unless he's woken up.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Daisy would be willing to take a turn, but I don't know if she would wake up unless someone wakes her, or there's like a lot of noise or a rough ride or something.
No, nothing like that. I think it's, any bumps or whatever your body is kind of expecting by the time you fall asleep. You're very, very tired, and sort of the rocking of the train
Right.
car is. So, you guys make it all the way to Leeds then. So Harmon ends up taking sort of a 3-hour turn there.
But I don't really watch at all.
No, yeah, you've gained no information. But once you get to Leeds, the two women get off the car. The people who appear to be dock workers, sort of not dock worker, but manual laborers, craftsmen, etc. They get off, and a bunch of the crowd. The family still. Harmon had heard them talking about going to Hull, so you knew they were staying on. The man with the valise is still on. Now you have about a mixed bag of about 12 people getting on. Men, women, various ages. But most of them look like they're dressed to go on holiday. They have suitcases, and they're loading these suitcases up into luggage racks above you, and porters are taking the larger trunks and moving them to storage cars. You're in Leeds for a little bit longer as this group of people gets loaded on, and it takes a little longer. And you can see if you look out the window, Harmon, that most of the cars are filling up now from Leeds. This is a much larger city than Crewe or Stafford, and you're in an actual, proper station. And so then, while you're there, you probably are in Leeds for close to 35-40 minutes as water is taken on, and actually the train is getting reversed, and you can tell they're uncoupling the engine, and a new engine is because you're going to back out of the station with a different engine. And as soon as the engine starts pulling forward again, do you wake anybody else up, or do you continue on? You can get out too. You are in a place where there is, a true train station where there would be shops and anything of that nature. You guys can choose to. You have 35 minutes to 40 minutes to do something before you get back on the train if you wish to disembark.
Nothing that I really need. I think Clyde said he was power napping and might be awake again, but nothing that. Harmon just plans to ride the train and
ride it. Come on, ride the train.
Come ride it.
All right. Okay, so does everybody stay as is?
About 7, 8 in the morning or something by now?
Well, I think I said it was 45 minutes to Crewe, and you guys got on at 5, so 5:45, then 3 more hours, so it's like 8:45, almost 9?
Daisy might wake up kind of hungry.
Okay.
Because we haven't really eaten anything. So if it's kind of like the riding of the train has stopped.
Yep.
I think that might be a time where she would wake up and maybe try to find something to eat.
Okay. Do you want to go into the station? You would know this is not like esoteric knowledge or anything. A station would have various little, kind of like an airport of today, would
Right.
have little stands, but you also know that you could stay on the train and grab like basically a continental breakfast in the dining car if you wished.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to go to a different car. I kind of want to stay by my friends. But I might just run off real quick and pick up some food for us all,
Okay.
like sandwiches or something.
And
don't
with
know.
your $2, you can do that.
All right. I'll get the lunch.
Okay.
Whatever.
As you're in line at like sort of this sort of sandwich cart, you know, and it's not great, you know, it's like the equivalent of not a really good ham sandwich like Dawson gets, but like a sad white bread ham sandwich, and perhaps some chips with it, but those are fries, and you know, and there's tea, and as you're getting that, you sort of look behind, and there's the man with the valise is standing in line behind you, and he's looking over your head at like sort of the sandwich menu board.
Okay.
He's making no eye contact towards you at all, or any, you know, if you turn around and look at him, he'll just kind of nod and look back up at the
I'm not
sandwich.
going to look at them. I'm just going to get my sandwiches and go back on the train.
Okay. All right, you get back on the train with your sandwiches. Clyde is still napping. Purdy has been snoring. I don't know that you're really snoring, but you were out super hard. And Harmon is maybe reading the paper for a second time. It's not that big of a paper.
Yeah, and then just sort of looking,
maybe there's
watching the countryside go by.
Maybe there's a crossword puzzle. Well, you're in a station currently, so.
I'll go in and get I'll ask for a paper for this town.
Okay. And you're in Leeds.
Yeah, so we'll get a Leeds paper.
Okay. You get a Leeds paper, and there's a headline. Arson suspected. Darby. This is big news. So there's arsonist.
Well, I'll read that story. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, Farmer Grady Odell reported a fire at the Henson manufacturing early this morning. This is hot off the presses. Well,
it might have been avoided if his dog would wake up.
But essentially, they don't know who it was. The farmer did report that there were strange people poking around the Henson manufacturing, but they appeared to be just people who had auto trouble. And at first thought that, because they do have chemicals there, that there was an accident in the manufacturing. But now the people are looking for 3 men and 1 woman traveling in the countryside. They appear to be English, because I think the only one they heard speak was Daisy. So they aren't looking for necessarily foreign nationals. But and the descriptions descriptions are vague at best. But so, because I don't even think they saw Purdy.
No, when he came, it was just Clyde and I.
Right.
And Clyde
Yeah,
was under
Purdy
the
and I were
car.
both inside.
But then they drove by you later in the car and would have seen 4 people, so that's why I went with the 4.
But when the car drove by, we weren't all in the car either. Were we?
We did a full weekend at Bernie's thing with the corpse.
Yeah.
Oh, were there 5?
No, they had their own car. We drove the car that poor sap Silas, whatever his name is.
Oh, okay. So they only saw 2. Okay, so the 2 people.
Well, 3. One of them was
Right,
Yeah.
right. Okay, yeah. So they're looking for 3 people. Okay.
for 3 men.
Was it 3 men?
One of whom looked sleepy.
All right, they're looking for 3 men, but he did run into a woman earlier, so there would have been would have been, yeah.
Oh, in the end.
We've just complicated it all.
It's fine. Basically, it sounds like they don't have very good leads, because he saw a woman and a man, then he saw 3 men in a car, and he didn't think any of it at the time, but thought to pass it on to the fire department as they were investigating what they thought was going to be a manufacturing error, and turned out to be very likely arson. So, is that hang together? I don't think it was hang together.
I think so.
It was like,
I mean, who knows if he even saw the genders of the people in the car, passing by at night. It could just be like, oh, there's 3 people in the car, like,
right.
It's a good thing they didn't mention the triple homicide that's in the outhouse, so
Right?
that's a plus.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the fire may have taken care of that.
There we go. There are 3 men right there. Bam, problem solved.
Potentially. But right now, they will say. I forgot about that there were 3 men in the outhouse. They will say also 3 people were found dead in an outhouse.
Methane gas, it's a killer.
Authorities are unclear as to the cause of death. They've been completely burnt. Because you set the outhouse on fire, right? Or was it just the shed? It was the shed. But in any case, they're investigating, and it is clearly in the North Country here. Big news. All right, so that's what Harmon sees in the paper. Daisy returns with sandwiches.
After I've read the paper, I will give it to Clyde.
Good.
Yeah, if anyone's awake when I come back with sandwiches, I'll share. Like, I don't
thank
know
you.
if Harmon's back with the paper by then or whatever, but I'll definitely.
Oh, I never left. I had the
Okay,
conductor get
got
it for me.
Okay. So I'll hand you some before, on my way back to my seat. And I guess I would keep an eye to see, because when I fell asleep, that guy with the suitcase was not by me, but when I woke up, he was, and then he was in line with me. So that's starting to be like just a little, yeah, we're both passengers, but I think especially as a woman, if I saw some person continue to be around me, I'd be a little bit more like, okay, why is this man always where I am?
Okay. Sure. So do you want to study him for any clues to behavior or?
While I'm chomping on my sandwich, I'll just kind of try to,
keep an eye
on him.
Okay.
Watch, kind of get a sense of what he's up to.
Okay. You can either, if you're looking for him, like any kind of weird movements, whatever, that would be spot hidden. If you're looking for maybe motivations or what he seems to be tracking, that'd be psychology.
I think I would be more the motivations, just trying to get a sense of, is he just a passenger, or is he someone I need to be on high alert around?
You got it. Ooh, 58.
I don't know what that is. 1 level of success. Okay. I'm having a hard time reading.
Yeah, I don't know why they're doing the star thing. They could just say success, hard success. Like, I don't know, the star thing to me is overly cute. I'm not sure it needs to be there.
It's just my brain isn't used to looking for it, so I'm like,
Yeah.
well, what does that mean? So yeah.
Stars are good. That's all we know right now.
But the number itself looked reddish to me, so that's my brain reacted to that. So
yeah, that's interesting.
But it's orange.
It's orange
is better than red.
Right. So red is bad, orange is good, yellow is better, and then extreme is green. Okay. Wow. There's super color coded and with stars and spiders, and just say maybe, at this.
You did it. Congratulations.
You did it at this level, but okay, so what you note is, well, first off, the more you watch him, the more that sort of unease about him grows. He's not watching anybody. It's just that his movements are too precise. He has, like, when he moves, it's like a fluid upward. Like when he stands up, everything just sort of stands up very deliberately. No, like, wobbling or anything. The leg muscles are like just levering him up. When he turns his head, it is a fluid motion until it stops. And so just vague sense of unease around him. But You do not see him spending any time looking at you more than anyone else. However, when the conductor comes in, you note eye contact is made.
I'm sitting back by Purdy. I think I'll like nudge him a bit and give him a sandwich when he wakes up, and and then just kind of lean in and
Man, the only way
whisper.
that would be a better wake up is if it was a thermos full of whiskey.
Oh, yeah. Like, sorry to wake you. I thought you might be a bit peckish. That man up there is really quite odd. And I'll just try to fill him in a little bit. Using the sandwich as a way to soften the deal.
And no one looks at us, like the fact that I wake up suddenly, or sort of suddenly. No one pays any attention of those two. It's just the two of them in their secret rendezvous.
As you're paying attention, if she draws your attention to it, you don't see anything other than eye contact. No hand signals, no passing of information that you can tell of, unless I mean you can try spot hidden if you'd like. But
sure, I'll just
yeah.
wipe the sleep out of my eyes and let me see if I can figure out how to use this. And how close is the guy with the valise?
He is, if we go over to train on tracks, he is sitting right here. If you can.
Got it.
Okay.
He's like right in the row in front of you.
Yeah. And Mr. Conductor is usually just walking into the front of the car.
Right.
And walking back up. You guys are in the lead car, right behind the coal car. Which I think at this point were covered, and they had higher stacks, so it wasn't blowing smoke right into your window.
All right. So he's sitting like within earshot, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, he's right there.
Yeah, that's the Traveler. Don't.
That is not.
Okay. That is.
Incriminated.
No, it's not, because that is the standard Foundry token.
No.
Thing.
But that's,
it's called the Mystery Man. So we'll do.
Purdy's gonna do what Purdy does best, and he will lean over and he's like, "Hey, buddy."
Yes.
Did his head turn all the way around?
Yeah, like I did. No, not like
180 degrees.
Not like an owl, but like his whole he shifts his whole body fluidly over and turns his head and says yes.
Do you do you know this town at all?
I'm sorry, we're in.
Are we still at the station? Sorry.
No, you're out. You've just pulled away from Leeds.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then I'd say something like, "Hey, do you know which is the next station?"
He does not. I ummed. He would be very.
Okay. He knows. He says whatever.
He would say Selby.
You know about how long it's gonna take until we get there? I really got to take a whiz.
And he just blinks at you with whiz, and he just says, if the train is running on time...
I need the pissoir.
Indeed. If the train is running on time, and it appears to be running on time today, we should arrive there within 51 minutes.
You sound like you travel here all the time.
Yes.
You said these are two people seats?
Yeah.
Purdy absolutely sidles in. Purdy has made a friend.
All right. I have to. We've gotten to Paul's coffee period. I have.
No.
So I'm gonna. If you guys are you. I mean, it's a little early, but is it okay if we take a 5-minute right now? Just.
Sure.
Sorry. I'm starting to lose my ability to concentrate. We'll be right back, everybody. Hold on one second.
Hey, so we on?
We are on. Yep.
Uh, hey, so what is there fun to do? Like, what's a guy like you do around here at night? Like, are you going to this town?
To Leeds. Is that what you're asking?
No, we just left Leeds, right?
Oh, sorry.
Whatever the next town was.
Sorry.
No.
To Selby? No. I am continuing on towards Hull.
I'm going to Hull too.
Really?
Travel buddies.
What brings you to Hull?
I'm supposed to get on a ship.
Oh, may I ask where you're bound?
I don't know. I'm kind of a wanderer. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get on a ship and I'm gonna offer to work for them. A lot of times, I just go around place to place, offer to do some heavy lifting, and my goal is to get around the entire world.
And that's an admirable goal. So you are somewhat of a merchant marine then.
I don't know. I'm good at shoveling coal.
So
Not sure that makes me a sailor.
well, sailors do all sorts of jobs on the open sea, is my understanding.
But what about you?
What about me?
What brings you to Hull?
I too am planning to go abroad.
Ah, that would be funny if we were on the same ship.
It would.
What you pack kind of light for your trip. I point at the valise.
Yeah. Oh no. I have other belongings that are going to be that have already actually arrived in Hull. But no.
Look at you. You must do this a lot.
I do.
Are you from here in England?
Yes, I am originally from and he's gonna say Birmingham, and yeah.
Well, I ain't been there yet. Maybe one day.
Daisy,
On the way back.
Are you listening? You can roll a psychology check. No, not psychology. Sorry. I don't even think I'm going to make you roll for it. That is not a Birmingham accent. He is not speaking in a Bromy.
Oh, okay.
And so it's possible he's decided he's going to speak with RP, receive pronunciation. But you don't even catch a hint of Bromy. And from my understanding, having a friend from Birmingham in real life, that is a distinct accent to the Black Country and Birmingham. And so tends to stick out. He pronounces all of his T's, whereas a Bromy generally does not.
But he does sound British?
Definitely British.
Okay.
Definitely a received pronunciation.
Okay.
So.
You ever been to America?
Yes, I have been to New York City and to Baltimore.
Wow, hey, two good places. I prefer New York City, but I'm much. Next time you're there, you need to come out west.
Out
Best
west.
part of that country. Yeah, Wyoming, South Dakotas.
Oh, I can't conceive of my business taking me there, but San Francisco is a very distinct possibility.
Yeah, you don't need business. You just get on a train. Train takes you there.
Indeed. And he goes back to staring out the window a little bit.
So Purdy is probably going to just be that mid. No, I can't say that.
Midwesterner who won't shut up.
Yeah. But everyone I'm playing with is Midwesterner.
That's okay. That's okay.
So we're all familiar with it.
Oh, go on. We know.
I think he is. I think he's just going to be like Purdy's smart enough to know what he knows what he's doing, right? Like he's analyzing the threat in the Purdy way, which is just talk him to death. until he gets mad and see how he reacts when he gets mad.
Okay.
So, yeah, he's just gonna like he'll be silent for a little bit because Purdy's a quiet guy too. But like when he thinks the guy has relaxed, he'll
hit him again. Okay. He will answer every one of your questions politely. If there are any specific questions you want to ask him, go ahead. But otherwise, we'll just say that you get to Selby 40 minutes or 51 minutes later. And
Purdy plans to be his friend all the way to Hull.
Okay.
And I think Daisy would like to kind of watch for that conductor because she had seen that eye exchange and to see if he's popping back in, if he reacts at all to what's going on with Purdy and the mystery man,
Okay, so since you're paying attention to that, and Purdy is also kind of paying attention to that, right as you're approaching Selby, you can tell because the train's decelerating. The conductor walks in. He pulls out his pocket watch, and the man pulls out his pocket watch, and holds it up and says to Purdy, "Well, we should make it right there at 51 minutes on the dot."
In America, you're lucky if the train makes it the same day.
That is
so I'm amazed.
That is my understanding.
I mean, there's all sorts of but they don't call it the Wild West for nothing.
No, he doesn't do that.
The motion that happened at the same time, I don't know how to describe it, like in a video game when everything is programmed to move simultaneously type of thing.
Weird glockenspiel type
This
action.
time we produce our watch.
Right, ugh, that's creepy sounding.
Yes, that is what occurred.
Okay. Ugh. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's fine. You have deepened the immersion there. That's because that's exactly how I wanted that to play. So,
do you have any I'm going to Hull. I don't really have a place to stay. I let that silence hold.
Yeah.
Do you have any recommendations of I don't know, like a nice hotel? I nothing too fancy, but I like I like to go out in town a little bit. I like to drink a little bit here and there.
Then he will respond with what's now becoming very familiar. Indeed. Yes, I can recommend to you the Paragon Hotel. It is
Paragon,
right next to the train station.
Oh wow, that's makes it convenient.
Yeah, and
lots of good stuff to do in nightlife.
I would say Hull is no London for entertainment purposes, but it is not without its charms.
Am I gonna wander into a bar and see you there? Just all the center of attention? I bet I am. Do the whole elbow into the ribs a little bit.
As you elbow him into the ribs, he sort of goes, and then
I'm sorry.
Straightens himself out. No, I abstain from alcohol.
I don't mean to offend you. I apologize. My grandma or my aunt, sorry, my aunt was always telling me that I'm too big for my personality.
I have experienced your personality to be as large as you are, sir.
You're very kind.
And he would just hand on the valise, just looking forward. And you pull into Selby. Selby is very similar to Stafford. You're at a wooden platform train station. There's no turning around, whatever. This is just to pick up more passengers and to drop some off. Nobody gets off this time. More people get on. Not too many in your car because your car was already fairly full, but you can see the cars behind you are filling up. And it does appear that, because the next stop is Hull, that's where they're going. Conductor comes through, checks everybody's tickets, because this is the terminus, is Hull, and is checking all the tickets again. So
Can I just have an interaction with him as he's checking our tickets to
Yeah.
see if he behaves precisely what his diction is like and his interaction is like?
Sure. So as he's just tickets, please, and he's got what sounds to your ears to be sort of an Cockney or East Essex type accent, little bit more. I do. And he is not quite as precise as the man speaking with Purdy.
Okay.
You don't have quite as much of that precision and fluidity of motion. But you do note, since you are watching him carefully as he's tickets, that he glances a couple times eye dart over, because you're in the seat behind, that his eyes dart over the seat to watch the man sitting next to Purdy, and looks at Purdy and then looks over at the man, and goes on back. After he checks your ticket and Purdy's ticket, he goes back along. Anything I want to check in with Clyde and Harmon here too. Anything you guys are doing as the train stops in Selby?
No.
I can't think of anything.
Okay.
And I've always assumed that Purdy just is a very loud person.
Mm-hmm.
Is it reasonable that they hear the conversation? At least my half of the conversation.
There are a number of people on the train now, and they're not all quiet, so there is quite a bit of background noise, people conversing, etc., etc. And one of the things I don't have set up in here is sound. I was gonna set up Sirenscape, and I just didn't have enough time to get the Masks of Nyarlathotep stuff set up, but I will get it going for the next game.
You did an enormous amount of work. You don't apologize.
It's alright. Wasn't that much. It was some. So.
At some point during the stop, though, I think it would, Purdy, you're in conversation, but after I get my ticket checked, for me to go up, I think Clyde was sleeping at the last stop, so just to check in with him, see if he wants any, the sandwich I bought for him, and to kind of fill them in on some of the things that we're observing in the back, because I don't know if they'd be able to see all of that, but I think they should know.
Also, Purdy would not forget that he asked to use the pissoir. So he would be like, save my seat, travel buddy. And he'd run off to pee.
Okay.
And then see what if my seat is saved.
Okay. It is not. There's nothing to lead you to believe that he went out of his way to save it. But if anybody, I don't think it would surprise Daisy that when anybody walking into this car would not choose to sit next to this guy. He has he's like me on an airplane. Nobody would choose to sit next to me. I put up total energy of don't sit next to me. I am not a good travel companion.
So Purdy is then twice as excited that his new travel buddy saved the seat.
All right.
By this, while he's walking by Clyde and Harmon, he's like, "Hey, travel buddy, you got my seat."
I didn't
know. How long is this drive to Hull if I have to keep hearing this?
You're just jealous, Clyde. I don't say that, but he thinks it.
I think it. I totally think it.
Okay.
Wish I had a travel buddy.
Have you read through the paper there, sir?
You see, just him, no, because he was asleep when he got it back.
You already did the rebus. It's useless after one person
Well-
does the rebus.
As long as their crossword puzzle should be wisely completely filled out. What's
Well,
this?
it was a long trip. I thought you might want to read the. Never mind.
Well, and is it only been Harmon and now Clyde who've had access to the paper, with the cover story of arson and deaths?
Oh, hey, Daisy, thanks for the sandwich. You want to... Here, you can read this if you want.
Are you done with it, Darwin?
No, Harmon was.
Oh yeah, that's
He
Teddy.
says the correct name, of course.
Yeah.
We're still in London.
Actually, you're outside of London, but in fact, quite a
These are our
British
England
quite-
names.
Our
quite
England names.
your England names, but you are quite a bit a ways from London.
So, the documents that says, hey, this guy is
That's correct.
Henry, this guy is Holly, this guy is blah, 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 blah.
Absolutely. You still have your forged travel paperwork from Carlton Ramsey back in New York. Where you hand the paper to Teddy, and
Right.
then are you going back to sleep, Clyde, or?
No, I have achieved my power nap. He's just gonna just relax, but just remain calm.
So
Steal the guy's watch.
That's a skill set I do not possess.
the people around you have several families sitting, in this car, and they're talking about their travels. They're all about to board a steamer ship themselves, and some of them are traveling to France, some of them are traveling to Greece. Just hear of this wonderful plans they have. One person is, you can hear them sort of muttering about the trip to Canada for business. Going to be traveling westward through Canada, but otherwise, people are mostly speaking with themselves, low mutter. Nobody's, there are some people who are alone and are not engaged in conversation with anyone, but just some of the travel talk you hear. Most of the people you realize now on the train with you are planning to go to Hull to travel onward via maritime methods. Anything you want to say to the precise man?
I would just, at some point, yeah.
Okay.
So when I came back, I would have been like, hey, have you ever seen two horses fight to the death?
Oh my god!
Yep.
All right.
That was it. I believe I heard Paul spit coffee.
You did, and it really was in my nose. I'm sorry Ed missed that. He took his headphones off.
Oh.
No, I can't say that I have.
I mean-
Have you?
I mean, do you know that, like, a colt will, a stallion will just, kill its baby if it just thinks it'll just pick it up by its neck and just shake it around and break its neck? I mean, everyone thinks horses are, nice animals, but they're not that nice.
I was
Ed,
unaware
Yes,
of
I
this.
made Paul spit his coffee out.
Yeah. I just had coffee go up my nose and out my mouth.
You know what? I'm telling you all this stuff, and I don't even know your name.
That's true.
I'm kidding. I
Hi.
stick my hand out to shake it.
He will shake your hand. You have, I'm assuming, had the handshaking experience of the person who has no grip. Yeah.
Me, Corey, yes.
Yeah. That's what you get.
Like,
Just squeeze the fingers and they give.
that's a hell of a handshake. Woo-wee.
My name is Pennyworth.
Oh. Pennyworth. That's a great name. I'm just kidding. And then, so other people can talk. I will just talk his ear off to Hull. I don't
Okay.
know if there's anything else I can think of to
Okay.
talk about.
Okay.
I would say the one thing I'd do, like, so Purdy wouldn't know about necessarily he would definitely see the obsession with the valise.
Mm-hmm.
He would know about the weird connection, but so I think of it anything, like, I think Purdy's thought maybe is that this guy is going to give the valise to the other guy, if anything. And so Purdy would be like just waiting for him maybe to leave the valise. Like, Purdy's not sure. He's just
Okay, you're gonna keep your eye on what he's doing with the valise.
yeah, for the rest as he just chats.
Okay.
So, and I'll back away just so other people can talk.
Okay. You can make a spot hidden check as the last part of that, actually.
I was busy looking up pissoirs.
Pissoirs. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh, yeah. No.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Oblivious.
Okie dokie. What are the rest of you doing? It's about an hour and a half to the rest of the way to Hull. So we're talking about you guys arriving in Hull between like 1 and 2 p.m.
I mean, I would read the paper that I was given,
Okay.
but I kind of also am, like I'm reading it, but I'm like listening to the conversation ahead of me and just trying to keep one ear on what's happening.
Like the spies on Electric Company.
Yeah.
The Eagles.
I'm sure she's not the greatest at it, but that's, she thinks she's being subtle.
The Eagles talks twice at midnight. Okay. Anything from Harmon or Clyde?
Not particularly, no.
Okay. So then the train will eventually pull into the station. And this is the terminus of the line, and so everybody will be disembarking, and so people reach for their baggage under their seats and start calling for porters to help with any of the luggage that's been stored in luggage cars. And you guys, the precise man is just sitting waiting until all of the hubbub goes, and wait for Corey to return, since he is the way I have it is the precise man. Okay, the train's pulled into the station. You are in a full station. This is a large full, like, Eustis Station. It's called Paragon Station. It does exist. It is a glass and metal like arched. It's got, I think, 4 arches with several tracks that have switches on them going into the station. At the time where you're arriving there, it's only about 40 years old and is very well kept. It's very pretty. You would kind of consider it, if you're familiar with like the Victorian era architecture with the ornate ironwork and glass panels, and very light and airy looking, modern for its time, although probably getting a little dated in the 20s at this point. Car pulls into one of the big archway, like, it looks like an airplane hangar, only pretty. And in fact, I think I found there's this thing I just realized you can do in yeah, so I can upload. Nope, I don't want to do that. I want to pull in a picture, upload, and let me just, because I think you should see this, because it's very pretty, or very kind of cool looking, I think. Paragon Train station, 1920.
Wait.
Hull.
It's a real.
It is a real.
You're pulling off a
Yeah.
reality.
Yes, I am very much pulling off reality. Like, let's see, save images. Okay, and then I just upload that. Browse. Call of Cthulhu. Sorry, I just realized right now it'd be really cool for you guys to be able to see this. Not really cool, but potentially interesting and helpful. Okay, so then why can't I just pull that on? There it is. Okay. So that's what it looks like. There's like this way you can pull pictures on and then layer it and turn like photos into maps on here. It's really cool. But I just thought I'd just drag it into here. But if we need a handout so that you can see it bigger, I can do that quickly too. Because, I love this kind of shit.
I'm reading about the Hull accent.
Oh, I didn't know there was.
And how they say fava for 5.
Five.
I think I'm drawing it too out. But they have a distinctive accent. The Hull is L. The H is swallowed.
Ol.
Oh.
Okay. Show players. Here we go. That's probably better.
And people from Hull are Holnesians.
All right. That's fun. Holnesian. And they're located along, I think, one of the coolest names of the Humber River, which is an inlet into the North Sea, which is how we get to these dockyards. So, as you pull into this station, as I was saying, the way I was picturing it is the precise man is sitting next to the window, and Purdy has him sort of blocked in at the aisle. And so, as you had walked away, Corey, I was saying that the station pulls in, everybody starts doing what they do like on an airplane, where everybody, like, you can't get off the airplane for like 20 minutes, but you're still going to be, everybody's like crowding the aisle, getting themselves ready to leave, but you can't get out, so everybody's just standing there. So that's happening, and the precise man actually pulls out his pocket watch and starts counting against the pocket watch as all of these people start pulling their belongings together.
What you counting?
How long it takes for everyone to get off this car?
Boy, oh boy. Can I tell you, you might be the most interested person I've ever met.
Really?
Like I mean that in all sincerity. Like I just like the things that make you like happy. I haven't seen that before.
Not certain I would call it happiness, but in all fairness, until today, I did not know that horses killed each other regularly, and that
most Americans do not.
Well, I think the same can be said of the British. Unaware completely of the violence of the equestrian world. And so now it's basically everybody has, like, are Harmon and Clyde getting out with the crush of people, or are you waiting for the rest of your group?
I'm just getting out with the crowd.
Okay. All right. You guys disembark, and the man is sitting there waiting for you to get up, and just is looking at you.
I think Purdy's not going to be like awkward.
Yeah.
He'll get up at the natural time. He'll be polite, let women out first, things like that. But he'll get up in the normal time.
Okay. Well,
on the way out, he'll be like, "Hey, like, I meant it. Like, it was a pleasure talking to you. I'm glad you were my traveling buddy." And hopefully fate, connects us again.
Likewise. Good luck, Gid. And then he takes his valise and walks with the most straight-backed, measured gait. Every step appears to be roughly the same distance apart, like a clockwork man.
I turned. Yeah, I won't say.
All right.
But
And Daisy's right behind you.
Mm-hmm.
And Clyde, did you get out when Harmon got out?
I don't do crowds well. I'll wait.
Okay. All right. So thins out enough, and it's just the precise man walks past you, Clyde, and it's basically the three of you. Harmon is out on the platform. I'm assuming he's
don't
waiting
worry,
for you
Clyde.
guys.
You're
so
always my traveling buddy. I know you were jealous. I know
I was.
you wished I said, "Hey, Clyde, did you know horses kill each other?"
They do what?
You should have. It was a great story back there. Don't worry, I'll tell it to you some other time.
And with that, he's just like befuddled, just stands up. Yep.
And Purdy pushes him in front of him.
Okay.
So when that guy blows up the bomb, it's Clyde who goes.
Harmon, you're on the platform, and the precise man walks past you,
Okay.
and you see him move directly past you without making any kind of eye contact. But you've all noticed this guy. And
Do we see the conductor at all?
well, if you're looking for him, you might. But Harmon definitely does, as the conductor and the precise man shake hands, and they're probably a good 20, 30 feet away from Harmon at this point. And there's a rush of people, so he's, got to kind of make it an effort to keep an eye on them. They shake hands, and the conductor hands a piece of paper to the precise man. The precise man takes it, does not look at it, opens his valise, and puts it in.
Oh, that's so strange.
Then, if you guys are looking from the windows of the car, you'd even have a fairly good view of him because you're up higher. And so you would, if you were looking, you could see from the window that occurred.
Hey guys, we're in Hull. We have a night out before we have to get on a ship for like 8 months.
I looked it up. China, they could make it in a fortnight. Is what
8 months. You're gonna kill me. You know that boat's gonna run out of alcohol, and I don't think you're ready for Purdy without alcohol.
Can't say we ever are.
All right. You guys get off the train. You see Harmon out there. You don't currently, I believe, have tickets to go anywhere on any steamship.
No.
So you're going to perhaps need to worry about that. And if you're leaving the country, you'll have to use your passports to procure them.
Do you think this would be a good time to check in, with our friend back home? Let him know what's up.
I think that would be wise.
There is a telegraph office in the train station. Common place to get messages to and from. The telegraph, the train itself actually sends telegraphs for departure and arrival times, etc. I don't know what British Telegraph Services is what I'm going to call it.
What all do you think we should pass on? Just that we're moving to new places, or do we need to request anything?
Well, I don't really have a concept of cost. If we can purchase these tickets without needing to make contact, we may want to simply telegraph for the passage and have that provided.
Wire transfers were a thing. I looked it up. So you can get the money for the trips through wire transfer of money. So
can I look and see what the cost actually is?
sure.
What it would cost for us to get that passage?
I have no idea, but I will say that it's definitely within doings of the endowment that you have.
I
Well,
spent
and
money on sandwiches, so
I'm specifically
day.
curious if it's doable without having it
Doable on
wired
your $60
first.
a day.
Yeah.
Sorry, I hit the volume thing on my headsets, and I don't think I heard what you said, Ed.
Yeah, I want to know if I can do it without having to have Carlton send it.
Sure. I have no idea. Ship passage to where? You guys are trying to go to China?
Yes.
Cost of a passage ticket in the 20s. 92 pounds.
Okay. So no, we would need to have it done. We'd need to have it wired.
That's for third class. Oh, that's Melbourne to London. But you know what? I would reckon it wouldn't be too much different than that, right? Like,
Yeah.
that'd be relatively similar.
One's north, one's south.
Yeah.
Well, one you can follow land, and the other you can't, so it's probably even cheaper.
Yeah, let's send a wire to Carlton Ramsey asking saying we need to book passage from Hull to Shanghai, and
this is so fun. Sorry. There's a list of real tickets. So, like, from Bremen to New York in 1921, it cost $165. It would be $2,390 in 2020 dollars. So, you will definitely need to wire for money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I love Call of Cthulhu. Not only do we get to play a game, but we learn a little something about history.
And maybe we should request new credentials.
Okay, that may take a bit of. Well, no, I think he might have prepared some stuff for you guys. So,
and if it's ready by the time we get there, that's okay too.
So you are planning to go to Shanghai. And we learn about horses too. Yeah, we do. We learn a little bit about everything here on Call of Cthulhu Masks of Nyarlathotep, including the horror of horse-on-horse crime. You guys go to the. It's not a problem at all to send a international telegraph on Harmon's credentials on his credit rating. So you send one and care of Carlton Ramsey. I tried to figure out. I looked up a bunch of stuff this week to figure out, like, all right, what was the turn time on a telegraph? So like you send a telegraph from here, it gets to New York. That's fairly instantaneous, right? But then somebody's got to, write it out,
transcribe it, and bring it to him.
Then they have to like bike messenger or whatever over to the office, and then have him send the message back. And so I was thinking probably, and you guys would know this is normal for your, for your characters. I was thinking probably the expectation would be within 3 to 4 hours, you might be able to get a return message. Does that seem reasonable to you guys? Like,
probably sounds about right.
Just because who knows what Carlton's doing? Like, he's having a bath, can't get the message, But, so, and also, it is, help me out, Corey, if it's like 2 o'clock
morning?
in England. It's what in New York then?
It's 5 or 6.
5 or
depending
6 in the morning. So yeah. So
Yeah. I'm sorry, it's 5 or 6 hour difference. So.
yeah. Oh, okay. So close to 7 a.m. 7 or 8. So just around business hours. So probably perfect timing for you guys to send this. So you are requesting new IDs and the money for passage to China.
Yes.
Okay.
Should be wired to Hull.
To Hull. Okay. And it will be yeah, and I'm not going to get into the minutia. This, like, just sort of because we could, but like, it's going to get to a place you can find it, because I don't really want to bog down with that, like that stuff. I think it's fun to think about some of this, but to be like, what's the name of the bank you would get it from? So you guys go back, and the precise man was not lying. If you are leaving the train station, the Paragon station, there is a hotel named the Paragon Hotel on Paragon Street. It is a very old hotel, but it is well kept. It looks to be somewhere around built during the time of the Regency, so early 1700s. Georgian architecture, etc. It is large, and it is clearly like the jewel of the street. There is, it is a dock town, and you are not too far from several of the docks. There are 3 main docks in Hull at this time, and I read a little Wikipedia this morning, or not this morning, yesterday. I can't name them, but it doesn't matter. You do see several steamships off in these docks, and you are in the main portion of the town. Hull is not a part of Masks of Nyarlathotep, so we are going off of, whatever I can find and whatever we can do here. So historical accuracy be damned, we'll do the best we can.
Right. Well, we should just keep a relatively low profile and find a way to fill time until we get a response.
Since you said keep a relatively low profile, do you want to be looking around to see, are you looking over your shoulders? Are you guys acting in such a manner as you are concerned about potentially people seeing you / et cetera, et cetera?
I suspect Harmon is doing that, though not consciously.
Okay. You can go ahead.
Because he's just very nervous.
You can do the spot hidden for me? And you said check into the hotel or go to find... You need to wait until you can find it. Okay.
I don't know that... My thought was, and anybody else, if we had different thoughts, is not actually to stay in a hotel. If I would like to get on a ship as quickly as possible.
I think Daisy would feel the same way.
Don't mind that, but asking for new identities, isn't that going in the opposite direction?
Well, and that I think that's a concern, but...
Yeah. But yes, I agree with you otherwise, but yeah.
That's why I thought maybe he could have them ready for when we arrive in Shanghai, as opposed to have them right now.
Travel under your current aliases, arrive and obtain your new aliases in Shanghai.
That's my thought, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, you guys are just, so then you're just going to sort of wander this is a main thoroughfare area here, this Paragon Street. And there are several, park bench type things and places for you to sit and perhaps keep a low profile. At one point, maybe a half an hour into this, you see the precise man come out of a barber shop. Looks like he's just been fresh.
Does he look any different?
His hair
Does he have the valise?
He does have the valise. He is holding it only in one hand, and he has, from somewhere, procured an umbrella. And
Like
this,
a Mary Poppins bag.
it just came out of the valise, yeah. But he is walking on the other side of the street from you all. It is a major thoroughfare. You see him. You have no indication that he has seen you. This is just
I'm
Harmon
going
at this
to make
point.
sure. I'm going to point him out to Clyde
Okay.
and Purdy, because it's Purdy's friend.
I mean, so Purdy's first thought is he turns to Clyde and he's like, "Hey, Clyde, are you gonna steal that valise for us? Because that thing is weird."
Do I
And
look
then,
like a thief to you?
I don't know, you're kind of shady. Like, I mean, didn't you kill all those people back there?
If I recall correctly, you killed some people too.
Oh, so easy to.
I'm sorry, I didn't run
Uh,
anyone over with a car.
Wait, what?
Time. One time, okay?
Oh, I didn't say in this circumstance.
So, hey, either I walk over there and I hug him like he's my long lost brother, or you steal that valise. Can you run fast? Didn't you recently tell me you can run so fast that
You wanna
no
do
one
both?
can catch you?
That's true. I've outrun many police.
Yeah. Okay,
Shall we do both? Shall we do both?
Well, I'm not. No, because he's gonna know I'm with you.
Well, how was he supposed to know I'm with you?
Because we're on the same train together.
If we're on
And
the
I
same
make
train, then
travel
it's in prison.
buddies easy. Like, it's not even I make travel buddies. Everyone wants to be my travel buddy. They heard me. He knows that you just followed me around. Like, why can't I be your travel buddy?
Well, if you want to do it, I can go up, grab the bag, hide in the crowd, and you can say, "Hey, travel buddy, how's it going?"
If you want me to distract him,
I mean, it's
be
just gonna be a
prepared.
grab and it's gonna be a grab and go if that's what you're asking
just
for.
be prepared. I'm gonna give him a hug, and you're gonna try to steal that valise or
Or you could
and you're gonna be like, why doesn't Purdy hug me like that?
or
And
you
you're
could
just gonna be
like
so jealous.
or if you do like a bump and run thing where you actually bump into him where he drops his stuff and then as you're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, buddy," I can go and just sweep it up and just walk away.
Why don't I just go try to distract him a bit? And you do whatever magic it is that happens in Clyde's head.
Well, if you can figure out a way for him to stop holding the bag, would be a great start.
I mean,
So
I could throw
why
him
are
a
we doing
football.
this? Does it matter?
This conversation has gone on enough where he's moved about a block and a half. So,
I'm Purdy's gonna run up. Also, all I'm imagining is Brady Bunch when, because I said throw a football.
yeah, so it hit Marshall in the
Yeah.
face. My nose. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So he's gonna run up and be like, "Travel buddy!" He's gonna start probably yelling,
Okay.
maybe 100 feet away.
I'm going to turn and walk the other direction.
Okay.
Harmon, you gotta beat this guy.
Thought the idea was that we didn't want him to know we were together.
All right. Sorry.
Okay. So, Harmon moves the other way. Purdy is running after him. Clyde and Daisy are doing what?
I guess I'm hiding in the crowd waiting for my moment to steal his bag, I guess.
Give a stealth check, Daisy.
I'm looking into the barbershop just to see what's going on in there. Because
Okay.
he came out of the barbershop, right?
That's right. So you cross the street and go look in the barbershop?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I will get to that in a second. Stealth check. And Harmon, are you stealthing away or just trying to hide in plain sight kind of thing moving into...
Just walking away.
Okay. All right. Man, you have such a great stealth. I was like, no way at 78. But, all right. All right. So, did it, by the way, out of curiosity, did it auto fill in your stealth for that success.
It's already had it.
You'd already had it. Okay. Okay. So Purdy goes running out and yells at this man. This is the first time you see an expression of anything on this man's face, and it is a vague look of irritation. And so he starts looking about, but it is still creepy how full, like, it's not a whip around or anything like that. It's just
This guy.
and he sees in the street a constable, a Bobby, although probably in Hull they're not called that because that was a London thing, and begins moving in that direction without acknowledging you yelling at him at all. Clyde, you can see him doing this. You also maybe can clock that he's moving towards a, sort of strolling constable. Daisy, you look in the window and you see what you expect to see in a barber shop, but there's no one in it. It is empty. Lights are out.
Stuff in there, but there's no people.
It's daylight, so it's not a problem to look through the glass, the storefront window. But you see no barber, no lights on, no nothing.
Is the door locked?
The door is locked, and I should have pointed out there's also a sign that, sort of closed, be right back kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
if the sign says closed, I wouldn't try to open the door.
Right.
But it's in British, so you can't read that.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
British.
That's
Right,
so
she's
difficult.
British. She just can't read American.
Be back in a jiffy.
All the ERs just kind of throw me, I guess.
All right, Harmon, you are going in the opposite direction.
Yes.
What you see basically are, this is the busy part of the workday. You see people who are moving freight. Like there are lorries moving freight. There are we're not too far from Paragon Station, so you actually see some, like, the equivalent of intermodal transport going on. Things coming from freight trains getting moved off to the ships. But then you also see people strolling about on a nice day. It's cloudy but not raining, which is nice. And so sort of on a seaside port city on a nice day, relatively warm out. So there are some
I'm gonna walk not too far and find a bench and sit.
Okay. Not too hard to find. And there's sort of an older woman sitting there, and she's feeding the birds and singing a little song to herself. Feed the birds.
Tuppence a bag.
Tuppence a bag. But there's you already invoked Mary Poppins. It was already there. But yeah, that's happening maybe 2 benches over from you. So let's see. What are Purdy and Clyde doing at this point? As this man has not acknowledged your presence, you did see him look furtively at you, and well, not furtively because he doesn't do that, but then look and find a constable and is moving in that direction with
if he did
some
that,
speed.
like I'm assuming I was super exuberant.
Mm-hmm.
I see that, and so I would mute myself a little bit.
Okay.
I would not use. That's Corey saying this. Yeah, I would just be like, "Hey, buddy," and still approach him.
Okay.
Pepper spray was a thing. I would be pretending it doesn't exist.
As he gets near the officer, he says to the officer, "I'm sorry, officer. I don't mean to trouble you, but do you know the time?" And the officer stops and pulls out a pocket watch and tells him, it's I guess it's like 3:00 at this point.
Purdy will still walk up.
Okay.
This is his travel buddy.
Yeah.
Purdy has never been betrayed in his life. He doesn't know what betrayal is.
Yeah, he's so the man. Oh, hello. And then he turns back to the officer. He says, "Would you happen to know when the ship is coming in for Toronto? Not Toronto. That was not. That's landlocked. Nova Scotia. No. I don't keep track of the specific shipping lines, but you can. And he points them over towards the. To the port of call, and of course you can find that out easily enough over here. And he and then he says thank you, and then he, without acknowledging you, continues to move on.
Hey, like I know you don't drink at all, but like, can I get you like? I'd love to buy you a tea, and we can sit people watch and talk like we were on the train and about all that fun stuff you talked about.
Oh yes, and he's being very loud so that the police, the constable can hear him. Oh no, I must go. I hope to catch to get to my ship.
Wait. Can I just slow down just 1 second? I have like one question to ask. Just I promise, and then I'll let you go. I know it's clear you're trying to get your ship.
So he's got the umbrella in his hands, gripping through that into the handles of the valise. Yes.
What?
If it's quick, sir.
No, absolutely. Come on, I'm your travel buddy. Why would you like? I attempt to drag this out as long as possible. I don't know how anything's gonna work, but I'm gonna try.
Well, and you get the Gene Wilder. I said good day, sir. Very loud. And the constable is now watching.
I will turn back to the constable.
Okay.
And I will say, do you know that guy? Like, he's my friend and all. I mean, we were on a train together. But you know the weirdest thing about him? He was holding that valise the same way he's holding it right now. But when we pulled into the station, he was counting down, kind of like a bomb. Do you think that's like a problem?
I mean, that's quite a leap, sir. I don't
know. Like, you're the police officer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how things are done in America, but not a lot of bombs on trains. It's not 2008.
No, I just said that. But it's that bag, and he's acted weird. He was my travel buddy on the train. Now I don't want to know me.
Give me a charm check or persuasion.
Yes.
I need a hard success though, because you're coming off as way weirder than that guy.
Am I?
Oh yeah.
Am I in post 9/11 America?
No, not in post 9/11 America. British. The sun never sets on the British Empire. 1920s. Yeah, maybe a little.
I'm trying to get.
That's fine. No, it's fine.
Screens disappear really fast. Charm and persuade. Yeah.
Couple things you can do. If you hit the pop out, it just creates it as another window for you to go back and forth to. It'll make another Google.
Yeah, I got it.
Or if you double click on it, it'll do the Roll20 thing and become minimized.
Oh no! I just did pop in.
Oh.
What the hell's going on? Okay. We can do these. Oh. Charm. Fuck. Even a charm. Oh no, I did. Wait, what color is that? I can't see color.
Good. You're
Why
good.
is this-
That's a success.
You're a winner.
It's a success, but I said I needed a hard success. So, so he just, I'll take that under advisement, Johnny, and he'll just sort of, stroll towards where the man's walking, you don't get the sense that he's going to search the man's bag, but maybe just as a, you know, satisfy you to some degree, will appear to be following him in that direction.
Yeah, no,
Okay. Anything else you guys wish to do? Clyde, did you are stealth. Did you want to try?
He's just looking at the whole situation. He's like, what am I supposed to do here?
Okay.
Now he has an officer on him? What is happening? What am I supposed to do? He has it between his umbrella.
It's that. I mean, honestly, it probably is a slightly more tenuous grip because it's not iron. You know, he's going through the umbrella and the handles, but he's not letting go of either thing. Is what it, what it
Yeah,
appears.
now there's a cop following him too, so it's a little more difficult.
Yep. So
Follow him, I guess, for a little bit. That's all I can think of.
and you are stealthing. So let's see if I can do this. I love that there's special keeper tools in here. I don't know what all of them do yet. Okay.
So we saw Keeper privately rolled some dice, question marks. But
Yep.
then we saw Game Master
1D percentile, 78.
78.
Yeah, what I see is in light blue, and I know you guys don't see that, but I don't know why it showed you the roll. I have to figure that out later.
Why it showed you that you rolled, or the 78?
Yeah, I know why. It's because it's a decoy roll. So,
You lied to us?
yeah. Except for I really just wanted to roll the dice, and I knew it would roll the dice. Okay. So, Clyde is stealthing, and as he's following the precise man, Pennyworth, he doesn't, like, the man is moving directly towards the docks, and towards the, ticketing. You are and the sorry, manslaughter. Yeah, that's very gendered though, but they all are. Anyway, women
No
slaughtered.
women have been harmed in the making of this
No,
episode.
no women.
But then it gets confusing with men's laughter.
Yeah.
Ooh, if the plural of manslaughter is men's laughter, that's disturbing in its own way.
It definitely is. So he goes to like a will call kind of place. I don't know that that's actually how it works, but he's picking up his tickets there. Clearly has already got them, and is having some sort of discussion with a porter of arrangements. I don't know that you're close enough unless you want to make a listen check to hear. And I will need a hard success because it is a busy port, lots of stuff going through.
Yeah, you never know. He might hear something, or he might listen. Oh, it's somewhere in here. I'll find it.
Okay.
Maybe. There it is.
Dude,
Nope.
Later.
Okay, so there's some kind of discussion. Some money changes hands. Doesn't seem untoward. Seems like it's probably a tip. But then the precise man goes and sits at a bench that is near the ticketing booth, and he was not able to kind of fold himself this way on the train car because of the proximity of the seats, but he is straight backed, legs straight out, legs straight down, knees touching, ankles touching. Valise on lap, umbrella on lap, staring straight forward.
This has got to be the most boring man I've ever seen.
And then eventually, as you wait, I'm going to come back to you. But about 10 minutes later, his stuff is brought out to him. What are the rest of you doing with these 10 minutes?
Oh, while the constable's distracted, I'm looking to see if there's other entryways into this barber shop.
Okay. It is a inline barber shop, so like there are stores on either side. There is a flower shop next to it, and next to that is a bakery. And so you don't see any sort of side entrances, obviously, because it's blocked on either side. You believe there might be an alley behind, but you'd have to travel a couple of storefronts down to turn right to check to see if there's an alley. Above it, this is a mixed-use building, so it looks like there's a residence above it.
I think I'd be more likely just to go to the alley. I'm not much of like a climber or
Well,
anything.
also,
so-
it would not occur to you that would be okay in this situation,
Right.
because
Somebody
this is
lives there.
Also, it's a very busy street, and people would notice a woman climbing up the side of the
Yes.
wall. So you go around, and you do see an alleyway. In the alley are several trash cans. There are it's not neat and tidy because it's an alleyway, but it is also not like spooky alleyway or anything like that. There is clearly the alley is in between two streets, and so you see shops on the other side. These shops appear to be, or not necessarily shops so much as some houses and shops, but you're on a main thoroughfare, so everything's a shop on the side you're looking at. You can see, without going down the alleyway too much, you have to step in a little bit, but you can see that there is a back door, wooden back door with a small stoop going into the alley.
Right. So Harmon, you went to sit on a bench.
Yep.
Somewhere. Is that close by enough for me to have seen you go that direction? Or?
Yes, I wanted to be still close by,
Okay.
but not actively with any of you when you went to go talk to the weird
Right.
man.
Well, I think after scoping things out, I would find Harmon because we're not supposed to go anywhere on our own, and just kind of fill him in a bit. Like, that barbershop, it's closed. So that unusual man came out of a closed shop, and the door was locked. It seemed like it was locked, but there is a back way through an alley. I wonder if there's anything important in there.
I think that the man is very interesting, but I don't suspect, and perhaps I'm being naive in this, but I don't suspect that it has anything at all to do with anything that we need to be worried about.
It probably doesn't. But it's just so unusual. I'm really quite worried that we're overlooking something.
The level of coincidence that would be required for the man to have stumbled onto our trail with as circuitous as we were, I'm having a difficult time seeing it as relevant to what we're pursuing.
I know I was thinking the same thing. As far as, why would we stumble onto the same train? But we've been running into so many strange things. And the way the conductor and the man with they just moved together sometimes, and it just...
Well, one thing that I have learned in our time together is that there are a lot of things going on in this world that are much stranger than anything I have ever seen before, and I don't know that they're all connected.
What if it's not connected, but it's still really important and dangerous?
I would like to avoid it.
All right. I'll sit here and look at the water with you and see what the boys come up with.
I don't want to dissuade you from any adventure you may like to undertake, but I would prefer to sit here quietly for a time, pretending that things are remotely normal.
understand.
Okay. What's Purdy doing since he got left behind there? Are you?
Yeah,
You
everyone.
would have.
Purdy has no clue where anyone is at this point.
Okay.
Pretty got
Purdy
cop
does-
blocked.
Got
Yeah,
blocked.
Purdy knows. Purdy's going to do what he does best, which is hunker down and drink.
All right. Not too hard to find.
Yep.
In fact, the easiest place for you to go get a drink is inside the Paragon train station.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
And for funsies' sake, let's say that there's a 1920s version of a beer garden. So you can even it maybe even is on street
Purdy's going to learn every song that beer garden has to offer.
Okay. I don't know what the big hits of 1920 England were, 1925 England, but
It don't matter because Purdy does.
Purdy knows them, and Purdy is singing. Clyde,
Yep.
you are much farther away now. You are several blocks to the east along the Humber River, and this man has a very large Louis Vuitton shipping, not what are they called? Steamer trunk. That is brought out to him, and one other large suitcase. And he then tips a porter again, who is then now with a dolly moving those things into the port, towards one of the docks. It is very clear to you that he knew exactly where he was, what time it was, and he did not need to ask the constable any of those things.
I honestly have no idea why I'm even tailing this guy at this point. As I said, I don't know if, well, as Harmon said, I don't know if it's pertinent or not.
Okay.
He just seems like a very weird dude to me. Very precise dude, but
Yep.
still weird.
Do you want to follow him as far as you can go without having to have a ticket?
Yeah, I mean, I'll figure out something. I mean, there's nothing I can really do to him at this current point in time in this very populated area.
All right.
Name of the ship.
Takes another 45 minutes, and I will make up a name of the ship, and you can just put, ship to be named later. But he begins getting in line for boarding a very large steamship. And you get the name of the ship, and you know that you could find out where that was sailing for, or you could ask somebody where they were sailing to on that ship.
I was going to look at its air registry and see where that ship would be heading off to.
The ship is heading to Nova Scotia. And you can watch him board, but looks like they're just slowly boarding.
I mean, there's not much more I can gather here other than that, so
Yep.
eventually I'll just return.
Okay. Return back. Purdy, if you've got your eyes open at all, you might be able to make Clyde out walking back towards that area. Harmon and Daisy, you can hang out and, I don't know, make a spot hidden check to find Purdy in the beer garden there, or you would just know to look there. Find the
I'm
nearest.
I
singing.
think it's
You
pretty
would know.
obvious at this
Yeah.
point. We've been traveling with him for a while.
Okay.
Where's the closest alcohol? There's Purdy.
So, after spending, we're now talking late afternoon, early evening. Sun is getting a little low. Sun's getting mighty low, and you feel like perhaps there might be a return telegraph. And so, if that's what you get, you guys all reconvene. You might have a beer or so, or a tea at the beer garden, and then you can check back at the telegraph office if you so choose, knowing that that was your primary choice. You could have also looked at, when the next, you could have taken some of this time to actually find when the next steamer is departing for Shanghai. There would be travel departure times and stuff that
Oh,
you
that
can,
would be good information to have.
yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like we would have had to figure out some of that in order to know how much money to ask
Right,
for.
right.
Like we're taking this particular, you know.
So I don't know. I know that with sailing ships, sometimes they leave at night because of tide and when winds have. I don't know if that's the same for steamships. I don't know if there's evening departures or not. I'm going to say, for the sake of just moving the game along, that there are, and that there is a ship that you can board that night, that will be traveling pretty much as Corey described it in our last game. It will be going through the Suez Canal, which means there will be a port of call at Port Said. And then traveling around through along the east coast and off the east coast of Africa, and then around India to China. And I think I looked it up. A steamship could make it in 2 weeks, is what I thought I read. But I will double check that. 1925 travel time from England. I'm not going to put in Hull to China steamship. About how long did it take to ship Europe from blah 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 in the 19th century? Well, that would be different.
Not that different.
Well,
Only 30 years difference.
a steamer to Southampton to Alexandria was 14 days. Then 2 days. Oh wow, I got the whole thing. 61 days. So.
Oh, all right.
So that's 2 months. It will take 16 days to get to the Suez Canal. So, but it will be leaving that evening. You do have a telegram from Carlton Ramsey when you appear. It is made out to Holly, Robert Hollister, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it says, money for tickets wired. That would be at this desk too, I think. They would give, identities will be waiting for you at Shanghai at blah, 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 blah office. Update, Miss Carlyle found dead. Stop. Update, colon. Well, no punctuation. It costs like 3 times as much money for punctuation as it does for stop. That's why they did that. Update, Hilton Adams set free. Update, Lieutenant Robson found guilty, serving time. Update, several police officers institutionalized following investigation of Juju House. More to come. So.
And they give that to me on paper, right?
It's
so I can
on,
take it with me.
It's on paper, yeah.
Right.
And it's not going to say Juju House. It's going to say at house. Or several friends in blue institutionalized after investigating house.
Whole thing was maybe a little more cryptic.
Right,
that,
right. But you're able to ascertain what it means. So.
Yeah, I will take that with me to and collect the money and purchase the tickets and then go find everyone.
Okay. Now you guys, I believe part of the getting the car was you had suitcases because you had packed up your belongings in London and put them in the suitcases. So it's going to be kind of stinky travel over, perhaps you may even purchase clothes or whatever. I'm going to even say Carlton sends along a little extra traveling money for you guys because you don't have, well, you I don't think you're walking around with steamer trunks here, but you would have had them crossing from the United States to London, from New York to London. So I don't know if you guys retained your steamer trunks or if you will need new ones and a couple more clothes or whatever. But we can.
I would think we had those things. I guess I don't know.
That's fine. If you guys want to say you had them, then you just like carried them out of the car and just wheeled them. They have little tiny wheels in the back.
I figured there's like the equivalent of a locker or somewhere we can put it at the station.
Okay. All right. I am actually gonna wrap us here while you guys are in the train station. Is that cool with you guys?
Sure.
Okay. I think this is. I mean, more to come, but we'll pick up here. With you guys in this area. Can you see you guys can't see this, can you?
I can see it.
Okay. Is it?
I can't.
It's,
I have no token with vision.
John Lennon is there.
Yeah, I had Harmon on
So is
this.
Ringo. So is George Harrison.
Yep.
And there's Paul McCartney. Look at that.
I think you're making it all up.
They're all
I
time
see
travelers.
Black, green. You're just very. Oh, now I can see it.
There we go.
Is that Linda?
Yeah, that's Paul and Linda. I used all 60s British icons for all of the NPCs and tokens on here.
Who's that?
Who's which one?
Up in the top left.
That is the original Doctor Who.
I didn't see the scarf.
Oh, no, I
so-
see.
That's
Yeah.
Pertwee, right?
Yeah, Pertwee, John Pertwee. Yep. Who is that one? That is Donovan of Sunshine Superman fame.
Ooh.
And this constable is Benny Hill as a constable.
Oh, we can't see someone.
Right.
Or I can.
I spent a lot of time making all of this work with the
There's
walls.
so many NPCs just chilling about.
Yep. Yep, and that's where we're going to pick up, is here
Constable keeps running into a door and then coming out a completely different door.
and
It's really confusing.
You just hear this really bizarre trumpet sound. So,
I believe it's saxophone.
is it a saxophone? Okay.
The song is called Yakety Sax for a reason.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I always thought it was a trumpet. I didn't know the name of the song, though. All right. Well, that's where we're going to pick up at our next game, is in the Paragon train station. And you
Hey,
guys...
we haven't left yet. Oh,
Well, the
So we are holding off on development because we haven't actually
that's all
finished the
right.
chapter.
well,
yeah, I think that is fair to say. I'm moving you over here because I forgot to put a door on this building, but this is going to be the telegraph office. So,
So
inside
that thing in
inside
the
the station.
center, there's no way out if you're inside of it.
This one here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
There's
just
no door.
I forgot
He
to put
deleted the door so the Sims would die.
yeah.
Oh my
that's ex-
goodness.
So, like, over here is going to be, I will shift ping. Over here is going to be sort of where the restaurant / bar was that has the beer garden out front. This is ticketing for the train station. And this is a newsstand. And maybe like a sandwichy shop kind of thing. And then two of the stations, what are they? Is that what it's called? Like what? Like when Harry Potter goes to 9 3/4, is it station 9 3/4? What is that?
Platforms.
Platforms. Thank you, platform. So these are 3 of the platforms of it, and you get to them from these large doors that go down to the concrete, and then we got a train there. So that is where we'll pick up when we come back in 2 weeks' time. So thanks everybody for hanging out with us, and by everybody I mean the players and
Winston.
Winston. Unless I missed somebody who's joined us since then.
I had to ban someone.
Yeah, I saw that. Was it somebody who said want to get more follows?
You want to become famous?
I do want to become famous, but not this way. Not this way. I want to do it for filming horse murder, horse on horse crime. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for watching us. We are Roleplay Give. So until we come back next time, which will actually be tomorrow night with the Warbler Brothers World Tour, where we're playing the Candlekeep Mysteries with DM Dusty at 7 o'clock. It's gonna be
7:30 this week.
It's gonna be 7:30 Central Time. This
it'll be
week.
a short game,
and it'll be a shorter game because life. And so, but I believe we are still in a spa where we have created all kinds of. Well, it's basically become like any movie that has Joan Jett don't give a damn about my reputation playing in the background where kids are doing.
It's the Battle of the
things.
Bathhouse.
It is the Battle of the Bathhouse. So
the massage melee.
Whenever people pronounce that British, it just sounds way dirtier. Do you want a massage?
But it sounds better with melee that way.
Yes, it does. So that's happening tomorrow night. But until then, roll some dice, play some games, and give of your time or treasure to causes that are meaningful for you. Otherwise, we're going to call it a day. And not otherwise, we're going to do that either way. All right. Cheers, everybody.